Hi everybody, today I am doing some carnivore meal prep. I'm going to make some Instant Pot brisket as well as some cod liver deviled eggs. It's going to be maybe at least a week or so before you see me again. So maybe you'll have forgotten about this fiasco by the time you see me again. I will post on the YouTube community tab when I am going to be up and running again, and it will be in a completely different kitchen than this kitchen. Everybody say goodbye to my kitchen. I love this kitchen, but hopefully I'll learn to love the other one just as much. So see you guys in early August in the new house, and well, the new old house. Okay, the move out has happened. We're on the ferry. The dogs and I are having some brisket, some carnivore crisps. Yeah, there hasn't been a real lunch or dinner. Can't even remember what I had first thing this morning, but anyways, it has been a long day. We are halfway through the move. Now we have to unpack on the other side when the truck gets there. Oh, I better get this up. Okay. Like some peeps. Good girl. Well, take it. Okay. I'm Anita from KetogenicWoman.com, where I share keto and carnivore recipes and other cooking ideas that have helped me to lose 140 pounds. If you're new here, welcome. Returning viewers, welcome back to my new kitchen. This is the first video in my new kitchen. I hope you like today's video. Okay, everybody, today I'm going to do a couple of things that are excellent for meal prepping for carnivore. As you guys may or may not know, if it's your first time here, you won't know this. If you've been following me for a while, you know that this week I moved. I'm about a week into this new place. Finally have some, semblance of normalcy in this kitchen so I can do a cooking video. I'm going to make a brisket recipe, which I'll tell you all about in a couple of minutes, but yeah, I just wanted to say welcome to my new kitchen. Not everything is where it should be. I don't remember where everything is. You might see me open a drawer and go, oh yeah, it's over there. I don't know, but thank you for bearing with me. We'll see how this goes today. And there might also be a bit of an echo in here, but we're just forging ahead because I'm getting a lot of messages from people. Where are you? When's your next video coming out? Well, here it is. So let's talk about the brisket recipe. I'm going to do this lovely piece of brisket in a totally different way. I've always done brisket either in a slow cooker, a slow oven, braising, an hour per pound, that sort of thing. This is 3 pounds approximately. I saw Kevin and Alice do a brisket recipe on YouTube where they cut it up into little pieces, put them on skewers. I have my skewers. And so this is their recipe. I made it a couple of days ago. It's all gone. It was delicious. It was fast in the Instant Pot. I've always hesitated to do brisket in the Instant Pot because to me it's sort of a low and slow thing. But this is excellent for meal prep and for people. If you have an Instant Pot, you're going to love this recipe. And I am going to link to their video down below where they did it. Thank you so much, Alice and Kevin, for this recipe. Now, when I'm finished that recipe, I'm going to make some cod liver deviled eggs. This was a recipe that was shared on Facebook that I happened to see. And I'm excited to try it. I have not tried it yet. I'm going to do a small quantity first, but I can see how it would be excellent for meal prep because During this last week, as I've been moving and not having a full kitchen, I've been eating a lot of boiled eggs out of the fridge. I've been eating, you know, things like endless amounts of, you know, just convenience food like beef sticks, Carnivore crisps. You know, thank you Carnivore crisps for sending me those bags. You know, all kinds of things that are easy to eat. And so I'm looking forward to having more real meat every day. So let's get started. The first thing that we need to do with this, and I've made it nice and dry with paper towels before I brought it here, but we need to cut this up into small, I think about 1 to 2 inch cubes. They will shrink down. So that's my first thing. And you don't need to worry too much about the grain with this cook because you're making small pieces. It's all going to be melt in your mouth. I am going to start that. What I'll do is I will start with making a couple of skewers so that you can see what I'm doing. So hopefully these are small enough. I think they are. I made some bigger pieces and I regretted it. I think that's all you're doing is you're just putting them on your skewer. I chose really short sticks because they will fit better in the Instant Pot. I have some that are 2 or 3 times as long. You can actually get these at the dollar store, order from Amazon, you know, maybe even your local grocery store has them. Not sure how many of these skewers are going to fit in my pot there. I might have to get creative. You're supposed to do them in a single layer, but I have another idea to get around that, which I'm going to try today. I'm worried that these are not all going to fit, so I think I'm going to save this piece and do something else with it. And we'll just put these in once I finish threading them up. I don't know if you can hear the seagulls out there. Something new. In the old place, all I heard was crows outside or stellar jays. In this place, we have seagulls. So I'm going to bring my Instant Pot here, just so you can see how I place it. I am going to use as the liquid some leftover liquid from the last brisket that I cooked. And you can use water. I'm using 1 cup of liquid. I have my Instant Pot over here. I'm going to put in 1 cup of the leftover beef broth from the last time I cooked. And I'm going to salt and pepper these. I use a formula of Redmond's kosher sea salt, or I use a formula of Redmond's salt. The kosher is what I like, and white pepper. I seem to have a weird sensitivity to black pepper. So I'm just going to sprinkle these with some salt and pepper. I mean, if you can do seasonings, you know, go for it. I can't. A lot of people do leave comments saying, oh, you should try this seasoning or that seasoning, or you know, why aren't you using anything? And you know, this is the safest for me. Some carnivores don't use any at all. Like they would just throw the meat in there. And that's fine too. You have to sort of adapt this way of eating to what works for you and the things that you react to and don't react to. So my idea, because I have a small Instant Pot, it's 6 quarts. I can't fit all this in 1 layer flat. So I am going to see if I can put them upright. But first I better get some broth in there. I'm just going to move I have a nice layer of fat on top here. I'm going to move aside and just see if I can pour some of my Jell-O in. You need about 1 cup. It doesn't matter if it's a little bit over, which it probably will be, because I'll probably dump too much. Should have just skimmed the fat off, but didn't think of it till now. Okay, that's good. Okay, now I'm going to start placing these. Let's see how this goes. I think it'll work. Look at this. just going to lean them up. And then they all are kind of in a single layer, touching each other. I mean, can't help that. Maybe I can lay some of them down now that I've got some of them upright. Yeah, this is good. I'm sure this will just be fine.
Just gonna move this out of the way.
So this is going to go on just manual pressure for 45 minutes with a 15-minute release. And that should be just about perfect. Okay, so make sure your steam gauge is in the middle position. I am going to go to manual. It's already set to 45 minutes because I cooked this the other day, so it kept it. And we will just let that go. It will, there. So we will come back to this when it's done and do a taste test. I'm going to clean this stuff away, get my eggs over here, and we'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to be making some cod liver deviled eggs, and the brisket is busy cooking. But I wanted to take a moment to make sure that everybody knows that this video is sponsored by Element. And you know, I want to tell people who don't know, I'm very grateful that they support content creators like myself so that we can continue to provide free content for you guys. And that's really what it's all about. Element is a very delicious electrolyte drink that I have been using now for quite some time, and I know that a lot of other keto and carnivore people use it as well. It contains everything you need for balancing your electrolytes, no junk ingredients, and you can, if you have a sensitivity to stevia, you can even get the raw unflavored, which is delicious in a big thing of water over ice, a little bit of lemon. That's my favorite way to do it. It comes in 8 great flavors. It contains 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. Right now, Element is offering this 8 flavor sample pack to all of my viewers. All you need to do is make a purchase from their website. This will go into your cart, and it contains all 8 flavors. You can try them, figure out what are your favorites. Some like the hot ones, some like the sweet ones, some like the unflavored. And you can order it from the link down below, which is drinkelement.com/ketogenic woman. That's DRINKLMNT.com/ketogenic woman. It'll be provided on the screen as well as below. Thank you again, Element, for being so kind as to sponsor my videos. Okay, we are ready to make the cod liver deviled eggs. I have never made this before. I am making a small amount. I'm using 5 boiled eggs and 1 can of cod liver. I am hoping it really tastes good because I think it's perfect for meal prep. It's a perfect way to get your omega-3s in. I love cod livers. I normally eat this. This is the brand I buy by the case from Amazon. I'll have that link below. There are others. It is in its own oil. So you can use the whole can. It's cod livers and cod liver oil, I guess. Like its own cod liver oil, not added. So I'm going to start off with cracking open my eggs, and they're boiled, hard boiled, and cutting them in half. So let's do that.
Oh, I dropped egg peelings on the floor.
I have my 5 eggs. I'm going to cut them in half. All of my platters are still packed, so I'm going to lay them out on this charcuterie board that one of my subscribers sent me, Sherry. Thank you, Sherry. Again, I have used this board so often. So my yolks are going to go in here, and I'm just going to place these on there. Maybe I'll put some other stuff on this board. Didn't plan on making a charcuterie board when I woke up today, but could end up with one. Okay, those are ready to be filled. So the recipe that I found online is from a website, I think it's called Create, CREATE, E with a number 8. I'm going to link it below because I don't know if I have that name exactly right. There is a printable recipe card for this. There's 4 ingredients: the eggs, a little bit of dill, which I happen to have some for another thing I was doing, and diced red onion, which I can't do. I cannot do raw onion. I just react terribly to it. And a can of cod livers. You don't need mayonnaise for this recipe because all the oil you need is in this can. And I'm going to basically throw this in here and mash it up. We're going to use 3 ingredients, 4 if you count the salt you sprinkle on top. Okay, I'm going to be careful here. Dump off some oil so that I can get the rest of this off. Normally I do this over the sink because it can be messy business if you dump it by accident. I need a fork. So just like with any other deviled eggs, you're basically going to mash this in here. Now, the big question that I had in my mind, is it going to be too much oil for the number of eggs I have here? Maybe. I'm hoping not. I'm happy with it. I was thinking it was going to be too runny, but now that I'm mashing it in, it's good.
It's actually really good.
The texture looks perfect. It's I like my things to be a little chunkier. You could use one of those immersion blenders if you like a smooth puree type thing. That's Pippi whining that you hear in the background. I'm actually just going to I'm going to call this about a teaspoon of dill in here. She probably smelled the cod livers and decided she should have a piece. Although I don't find they have much of a smell, but the dogs seem to, or they recognize the sound of the can opening, you know, from the other room. They know exactly what you're about to eat. Okay. I want to now put them in there, and one little trick is if you put them in a baggie and cut the corner off, then you can, you know, squeeze them in there. Trick is to get it in the bag. Or you could just spoon them in, like you could literally just do that and pat it down. But I'll show you this anyways because it's something that I learned on YouTube at some point in my life. Okay, and then you just kind of twist the bag. I need a scissors. Cut the corner off and squish it in. Now, I know some people are very good at this and can make, I mean, you could put it in a pastry bag and make it look super fancy. If I really was going somewhere that needed this charcuterie board, I would probably consider doing that. There's enough in that bag to fill extra egg whites, but I don't have it. So just gonna go with that, and I'll put that into a bowl later. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. I probably should have added the salt first before I mixed it in, but that's okay. I'm in kind of a, I'm nervous today because it's my first time filming here. Everything feels different. So we have 18 minutes and then 15 minutes release for this. I am going to come back in the next segment. We're going to, actually maybe I'll add some of my skewers here. Maybe we will make a charcuterie board, but I will be back to taste all of these delicious things. I'm kind of looking forward to trying the deviled eggs, and we'll see you in the next segment. Okay, our Instant Pot is finished. It has been releasing steam for 18 minutes. I'm going to take the lid off and bring it over here. Okay, these are ready. They look delicious. Now, one final step would be to sear these in a cast iron pan or broil them, get a little bit of color on them. I won't be doing that today. I'm going to be storing these to eat for the next few days, and I will do that as I eat them. But I just wanted to mention that, and you'll see that if you go over to Alice and Kevin's website or look on their, or watch them do the video where they make this. Yeah, the searing just adds a nice final finishing to it. So I'm going to put these in here. I will be trying them, but I want to store these in the fridge basically. So they do shrink a lot, you've probably noticed from the cooking, and we have lots of, they're slippery little guys. We have lots of broth down there to save. Okay, I'm going to try one of these, but I also want to try an egg. I actually think these skewers would look nice on this board as well. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt to both of these. I can hardly wait to eat this. Now, confession time, you know the extra that I had left over that was in the little baggie, and I said I would deal with that later. I tasted it, it was so good I just finished it off. So I already know what this tastes like, but I'm going to eat one of these now. If you like deviled eggs, I think you're gonna love these, even if you're hesitant about the cod livers. The cod liver just really mixes in nicely with the egg yolks. So I would encourage you to try. By the way, if you're in my new city in the Victoria area, the Fairway Market sells single cans of cod livers right in their ethnic aisle. And so I was surprised to see that, because I always say, I always hear people say, I don't want to order from Amazon because you have to buy a whole case. There are places you can go to try one can before you commit. So let's try the skewer. That is so good. Brisket, when it's cooked properly, it literally melts in your mouth. This is such a super way to do it in the Instant Pot for those that don't have the patience to cook a large piece for hours on end. Do it this way, give it a try, and I think you'll like it. The thing I love about brisket is not only is it full of flavor, not only is it beef, which is the most nutritious meat there is, in my opinion, it also is cheaper than hamburger most times. And so, that blows my mind. I've gotten it as low as $3.99 a pound when it's on sale. Other times it's $4 or $5 a pound, maybe $6. Incredibly cheap. I pay $6.99 a pound for lean ground beef often. So give it a try if you have never tried it. That is it for today. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope you will catch my live, or I think by the time you see this video, it'll already be out there. I'm doing a live on YouTube, and I invite you back to see future videos if you're new here. All the links will be below in the video notes. To Alice and Kevin, thank you so much for your brilliant recipe here. Thank you for the people who did this, and everybody else who has been watching and supporting me. One final thing is, while I was away moving last week, my channel reached 80,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for that. You guys just kept watching even though I wasn't there. So I appreciate that very much. Bye. We will see you in the next video.